What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition to my Godzilla comic book reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Godzilla Heist, issue number 2. And this one is story by Van Jensen, art by Kelsey Ramsey, colors by Heather Breckel, letters and design by Sandy Tanaka, editor Jake Williams. So this is issue 2 of the whole Heist storyline. The last issue we saw, our lead character basically get recruited to this team because he's been this expert heist guy who's able to kind of push and manipulate Godzilla into ways to break into really dangerous places that normally he wouldn't be able to do so and steal whatever he wants. And now he's been gifted like the biggest challenge of all, break into like the Ministry of Defense in London, England, and steal what's underneath it, which, as we've come to find out, is none other than Godzilla, which has connections to his family and all that too. But the heist is kind of going like most heists go. Like, you have one set goal of things, and then things start to kind of go wrong, and then we kind of go from there. So Godzilla shows up, getting his chance to wreak havoc in London. They try to lure him towards one place, but the chopper kind of goes down because, well, I mean, you're trying to control a giant radioactive lizard basically to pinpoint like an exact location, kind of destroy it. It's a real kind of gamble type of situation. So Mechagodzilla, of course, is present underneath it. I'm sure he's going to factor in the next issue or two where he's going to fight things. Although the end of this issue teases Anguirus, or at least the next time. So I'm wondering how Anguirus is going to factor into it. But yeah, so Godzilla's been brought to London so he can kind of destroy things into the building and they can break through and take Mechagodzilla. But of course, things go wrong. However, he does have like another backup plan, and eventually Godzilla makes his way to the building, and it kind of ends on that bit of a cliffhanger right there. Like, okay, he's going to destroy everything in sight, and then we're going to find our way in and steal Mechagodzilla. So, and while the people and scientists who are working on it are like, well, maybe it's time to kind of let it loose and go off and fight Godzilla once and for all. So, but they're also kind of starting to become aware of the thieves and, the release of drones to kind of coerce Godzilla into kind of moving to whatever specific location they want him to. So, yep. And as you can see, next issue there, you have Godzilla, and of course you have Anguirus. And man, I do love some of the cover arts right here. Like, there's some really beautiful looking artwork in this thing too. So, yeah, this one is just, okay, the heist has already kind of started at this point. And it's more so just these people being really terrible people, coercing a giant monster to endanger the lives of millions of other people so they can break in and steal stuff. You're not like, they try to have the sympathetic angle with the lead character they did in the last issue, where he's like kind of wants something that was basically taken from him and his family. But you're also endangering the lives of everyone else by having Godzilla attack the city and kill all these people. And like I said, the military, they're just kind of defending their little base or whatever, and these people are coming in like, hey, let's bring in Godzilla, just have destroy all this stuff so we can kind of break in and steal stuff. I'm like, if they kind of don't make it out, I'm not going to necessarily lose sleep over it, because they are pretty terrible people to do things like that. So, but it is an interesting way to kind of look at a heist situation. Why not like manipulate kaiju to kind of do the work for you so you can break in and steal something? Like, that's kind of a neat premise or concept. So again, not too much really happens in this thing. They get in their helicopter, they're ready for the heist. Godzilla takes it down. They end up in front of the building they need to. Military scientists working on Mechagodzilla underneath the building, and Godzilla blows some stuff up, and we're ready to get to the next issue. So, all things considered, I thought this was a totally serviceable issue. We get some cool shots of Godzilla in the streets of London, which is, pretty cool. We haven't really seen Godzilla like within London in any of the films, which I part of me is thinking, with the MonsterVerse and all that, just having them destroy like every landmark possible. Since Godzilla's off in Rome and in Europe, it's only a matter of time before he ends up in Paris, France, or London blowing up Big Ben or something like that. It's bound to happen at some point. It's probably gonna happen in this issue. So again, it's cool to see Godzilla take down different landmarks, but we are starting to run out of landmarks for him to destroy at this point. So maybe he has to go like super far inland to do so. But all things considered, I thought this was a pretty decent issue overall. The first issue had the interesting hook, and here it's just, okay, the heist is going on, and we're following all these people who aren't really like the best of people to kind of follow. They're pretty terrible, but it has Godzilla, and so generally for the most part, I'm going to kind of enjoy it. So, but 2 issues in, we're pretty solid with this thing. I don't think this is the strongest thing IDW has put out, but I think there's an interesting enough concept, and I'm curious to see how this whole heist angle is going to work. Like, we're having these people break in and take over Mechagodzilla. That sounds kind of interesting, but also the cover for the next issue teases Anguirus, so like, how is Anguirus going to factor into this plot? So only time will tell. But anyways, what do you all think of Godzilla Heist issue number 2? Sorry I'm a few days late on this one, just never got around to recording it. But post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all the fun stuff. And as always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.